Hello and welcome! All this week I'm here in San Francisco covering the Intel Developer Forum. Now, this is Intel's yearly shindig where they cover the latest technology that they've been working on, their cool new products, and some of the research that comes out of their labs. Now, we're expecting to see lots of very cool stuff this week. Let's go and have a look. However, the big news of the day has undoubtedly been the unveiling of Intel's new Nehalem processor.
Now I want to turn our attention to Nehalem, the world's first dynamically scalable microarchitecture. What it means for developers is a great new product. For customers, a product they know now getting better. And the i7 is the premier member of that core family of products. As we talked about last year at Nehalem, we disclosed many of the key features of Nehalem, new instructions, new capabilities as part of that. And today I want to give the next set of disclosures around that. A grounds-up new microarchitecture, great energy-efficient performance, introducing hyper-threaded, native 4 and 8-core monolithic designs, new innovations as well as part of that.
So Nehalem is Intel's newest core processor, and like most of Intel's recent processors, it's quad-core, which means you've got 4 processing cores jammed onto the single chip. However, this one has got a little bit of a twist.
But the one cool thing I want to talk about today, is how we convert this power headroom back into performance. That's what we're calling turbo mode. So the idea is if you have, let's say, 4 cores, and you detect that only, say, 1 or 2 cores are actually active, we turn the power gates off, the power of those cores goes to 0, then the power control unit takes all of this power, gives it back into higher voltages, higher frequency, and we get a boost in performance as a result.
So literally, we're able to turn dynamically that available power budget into more performance.
Absolutely.
Turbo mode, that's really cool.
Yep. So let's backtrack just a little bit. For the past couple of years, Intel has been adding performance to its chips by adding more processing cores rather than just ramping up the clock speeds. Now the advantage of this is that you can do more things at the same time without any drop-off in performance. The disadvantage is that if you just want to do one thing, then it could end up being a little bit slower. Now the other disadvantage is that writing software to take advantage of all those cores is a lot harder than just writing software that does one thing at a time. This means that you've had maybe a trade-off to choose between, do you want a faster dual-core processor or a slightly slower quad-core processor that could potentially do more but potentially be a bit slower as well. So this is the really cool thing about Nehalem. It's a quad-core processor, but if it senses that the computer only wants to use maybe 1 or 2 cores, it actually shuts off the other couple of cores and ramps up the clock speed. So effectively what you get is the best of both worlds, a fast dual-core processor and a quad-core processor in a single pack. And frankly, this is very cool. At the end of a long day finding out all about Nehalem, this is the actual thing. This is the wafer that comes out of the fab. It's got all the little Nehalems on it, and they get chopped up into these tiny little pieces. So after all that, I've just got one question left. What the heck is Nehalem?
Hebrew word, or is it a local term?
So that's the question.
So if it's a Hebrew word, it's Nehalem.
Nehalem? Nehalem. Nehalem?
It's actually pronounced Nehalem,
yeah.
But we have some French engineers who say Nehalem.
Right. Nehalem.
Nehalem.
Nehalem is a town in Oregon.
In Oregon?
Oregon, USA.
There's a river called Nehalem, I think, as well.
Well, it's Nehalem Bay, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a bay, a river, some body of water perhaps. A
A
lake.
geographical feature.
Yeah. Could be a town. Check Google Maps. That's what I recommend.